Hey y'all. So I'm coming on here to keep a record of me starting Kesimpta. Now this is supposed to be day 0, and I went to see my neurologist today, and she's just amazing. She's just has an amazing bedside manner. She takes her time to hear what you have to say, to show you evidence and talk about studies and share with you just things that she's learned. She talks extremely fast, but anyway, Dr. T and I discussed the idea of going on Kesimpta a while ago. In June of 2023, I had an allergic reaction to Ocrevus. Had been on it for 5 years, and that's twice a year. On the second infusion of the 5th year, so my 10th infusion, I had an allergic reaction to where my throat started to swell, like it was closing, and I was frustrated because, of course, like, for my life. But then also now, like, all right, I'm off this DMT that I was like flourishing on. I felt like I was thriving on Ocrevus. And so here I am in a space where I have to figure out what to do. So I decided I was going to do the natural and holistic route. I was going to change my eating, my meditations. I was going to start meditating and getting rid of stresses in my life. I signed up for a program that just did wonders for me. So for about 6 months, I felt amazing. Dr. T said that the Ocrevus was still in my system, still had me covered. So, we can't really say that the natural and holistic was the only reason why I felt good. So I'm just like, okay, well, God has given us lots of things that are helpful. Long story short, in January I had the pseudo relapse, which had me in the hospital needing to learn how to walk again for 23 days. So here I am back in the doctor's office in February, and they say, you have to decide, like, you're very likely to have another relapse. Is it going to be pseudo and no new lesions, or is it going to potentially have lesions? Well, we can combat the possibility of it being new lesions by having you on a DMT, or we could risk it only being a pseudo relapse. Like, there's no way of knowing. They keep telling me, you're too young, and you've been dealing with this condition way too long. Right? I'm 34. I'll be 35 next Friday. 16 years ago, I was diagnosed at 19, having had symptoms like years before that, when I was in middle school even. So trying to risk that at this young age it's not worth it. They kept saying, it's not like you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s and your immune system is suppressed, and we don't want to suppress it even more. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is trying to preserve your way of life right here. So I said, this was back in February, you know what? Yes. All right, let's do Kesimpta. Bruh, why did I today is April 9th. Why did I just on April 8th receive my Kesimpta in the mail? It's a whole thing. Excuse me, insurance, just like the paperwork, just the path you have to take. Anyway, that's all right. God is good. It's here. It came here yesterday, and for whatever reason, I froze, and I'm just like, I don't want to take it. So I wound up I was going to her for my 3-month checkup anyway, and she and I were talking, and she was just like, well, how are you feeling? And I said, honestly, I'm okay, but I feel like there are some things happening. Like, I'm having a little bit of trouble concentrating. I found myself stuttering, especially at night, and I was like, oh, I'm tired. Like, I need to go to bed. I found myself tripping a little bit more. Oh, it's okay. So I'm there, and she does the physical exam. You know, I told her for my birthday, oh, I want to go skydiving. I'm so excited. And she was like, that's a lot of stress. Good stress. First she said, why do you want to skydive? I said, oh, it's indoor skydiving. Don't worry. So she goes, listen, that's stress, right? Good stress, bad stress, it doesn't matter. Your body just knows that it's stress. So she said, you need to go ahead and take it today. That way you have 2 in your system before you decide to skydive. Because when you start Kesimpta, you take 1 week 0, they call it. The next week you take another one. Then you skip a week, and then you take the 3rd, and that's like your, I forget what they call it, titration. Like you're slowly getting it into your system. So I was just like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And she was like, okay, tomorrow. Like, that's fine. Tomorrow or Saturday, that's fine. Just do it this week. So then she does my physical exam, and she's like, oh, okay, you're strong. You're like, your muscles, your arms, you know, they like push down on your arms, and she does your reflexes, and hold up your leg, hold up your toes, do this and this. And then she has me track her finger, and I get to looking to the left, and she said, are you seeing double? I was like, no, I'm not. Oh wait, yeah, I see double. And she was like, okay, how about over here? I said, no, yes. And she said, do you feel that? Like your left eye is moving twice as fast, like a lot faster than your right eye. Like it's not in I don't know what that's called. It's not in sync with your right eye. And so I was just like, I don't know. And then she did it again, and I was just like, okay, I feel it now. And after that, I realized, oh my gosh, I do feel like my eye is kind of twitching, and just kind of like this right side of my face. I don't know if you could see it. And then I did bring this up to her, my right lip, this has happened before, where my right lip like droops, or just kind of like one corner, like it might happen again while I'm talking. But long story short, she said, listen, you need to take that medication today. She said, I could put you on a steroid, and we like have to deal with the side effects and this, that, and the third of the steroids, because I've had quite a few steroids like these last couple like months, this year, last year, just like a lot. She said, oh, did you see that? She said, I'm not gonna do that to your body. Instead, we're gonna get this Kesimpta in you so that it can combat this active situation that's happening like right now. So I'm just like, okay, let's go. So I'm a little nervous. There's the reason because Kesimpta and Ocrevus are supposed to be very similar drugs, except, you know, Kesimpta is missing like this one thing that Ocrevus has. I had this allergic reaction where my throat closed with Ocrevus, so I'm a little nervous about Kesimpta. But, you know, she said pre-medicate with Tylenol, aspirin, Benadryl, whatever you have in your house. Just, you know, be prepared. Hydrate. And I said, okay. What? Okay, you see it? Sometimes it stays, sometimes it goes away. I try to smile to make it stop. So, yeah. So I am, this is where I am. Because my husband is, Brad is leaving town in the morning. So I don't know how I'm going to react. And so doing it tonight made me really nervous. But then I called my mom and my sister. This is the closest I've lived to them while being an adult, because I needed help, and they offered their help. So I'm gonna go to my mom's house. You know, my sister doesn't live far, and my mom's gonna help with the kids, so I can take the medication like right now. It's 11:40 in the morning. Um, mm, yeah. She said the Ocrevus was probably carrying me through all the way through February, but now March, April, the beginning of May, that isn't there. So anyway, y'all pray for me. I am gonna take it today. I, do I do one today? No, I'll do one tomorrow or later. Let you know how I feel. I'll probably later let you know, or maybe I'll feel myself doing it for the first time, I guess. Ooh, I'm nervous, but I'm all right. I'm okay because I know God's got me. I just talked to Mimi. Mimi encouraged me. Just lay down and relax. Put on some music. Put on my gospel music. Put on some healing music. Make some tea. Chill. Because if I'm going to sit here and be nervous and stressed and allow anxiety to build up inside me, well, I'm just, of course, now I'm going to feel more stuff. I'm focused on my left eye. I'm going to feel more stuff. I'm going to droop more. So this is me saying, day 0, this is how I feel. Come back tomorrow or later and or tomorrow. I'm going to share just like what day 1 has looked and felt like for me. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention my sister is also on Kesimpta. She'd been taking it for a little while, and then she stopped, and she's starting back up again right around the same time that I'm starting it for the first time. So, yeah, it's day 0 Kesimpta. Here we go.